What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a ton to talk about today. The market went absolutely crazy. Apple is down around 3.5% today. We saw a lot of growth stocks really tank, but we saw a lot of traditional value stocks actually up a little bit. So if we look at if we look at JP Morgan, Johnson & Johnson, and Caterpillar, they're up, but some of these top growth stocks like Apple is down 4%. We have the QQQ down 4%. We have Tesla down almost 2%. So in today's video, we're going to go over what happened in the market today and the most important stocks to watch for the rest of this week. And at the end of the video, we have a $2.5 million options trade that expires this Friday. So make sure to stick around for that. And guys, text StockedUp to 39970 for special market updates and things like that. StockedUp to 39970. But Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, overall today it was terrible. The SPY really tanked off right at open today. And, we saw it kind of dip down today in pre-market and it was kind of scary. And then right at open, we saw some green come into the market, but then it just tanked right off. And this was due to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen actually saying that we may have to raise the rates somewhat to keep the economy from overheating per CNBC. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen conceded Tuesday that interest rates may have to rise to keep a lid on the burgeoning growth on the U.S. economy brought on in part by trillions of dollars in government stimulus spending. And this was the main reason we saw the markets die off in dramatic fashion today. And I know, Mike, you're really big into that stock TLT and the rates. And man, it was just terrible today to hear that with the markets. And, I've heard you say a lot over the past few weeks that if somebody comes out and says something about raising rates, specifically more if we were expecting Powell to say something like this, but Yellen was the one that ended up saying it, and it really made the market tank off, just like you had been forecasting.
For sure. So yeah, we had quite the interesting day today. And here's the thing, rates are very low right now. That's not a secret. Everyone knows rates are super low. And while this is great for the market, and while low rates really helped the economy and the market overall rebound in 2020, rates can't stay super low forever, right? So at some point, rates are going to have to rise. And the market doesn't like higher rates, you can say. So when rates rise, the market normally doesn't like that, and we see the market fall. And we just saw a little piece of that today. So the market actually went very crazy. I mean, I was looking at Enphase, especially. A lot of growth stocks are down a lot. Enphase is down 6.5%. We even have, actually AMD closed green, which was good. But we saw a lot of stocks down a lot today. And Tom, let's talk about what's going on. So we saw a lot of, I don't want to say panic selling, but we saw a lot of selling pressure all over the market today. So what are your thoughts for tomorrow? And I know that, it's extremely hard to predict, what's going to happen in, next hour or next couple hours or the next day or so. But the thing is, there is a lot of selling pressure right now. And normally when we see situations like that, we might see the stock market pop up tomorrow and then continue down for the next couple weeks. There's a lot of different things that could happen, but we know that there's a lot of selling pressure across growth stocks right now. So what are you seeing?
Yeah, there's really a lot of pressure, like you said. And whenever we go look at some of those growth stocks, like on their daily chart specifically, like PLTR and a lot of other ones, we can see that today they kind of dipped down to those supports and are kind of holding right around there. So we're just going to have to see what happens over the next couple of days. I think that, like you said, we might see the market come back up. At the end of the day today, it did come back up quite a bit, almost back up to opening prices just about. And then it actually conceded right under 416 and under the 1000 SMA. And personally, I have a feeling that tomorrow we're still going to see some downwards movement, especially with the crazy volatility that we saw today. We also saw the VIX popping up as well earlier this morning very significantly. It did pull back at the end of the day, but the VIX still closed up 6%. But at the beginning of the day, let's go see, it was up around 12 to 13%, maybe 15% in the middle of the day. So that's a pretty big deal, I think, whenever we're looking at volatility and everything like that going forward. And like you said, just tons of selling pressure coming in. We're seeing Apple down like 4%. And the thing I do kind of like is how we did see a little bit of a pop back up at the end of the day. And if we would have stayed down here at lows, I would kind of have a feeling that maybe, just maybe then the SPY might pop back up tomorrow at open or kind of overnight tonight. But I do kind of like, though, how it is consolidating under 416. Hopefully it can keep going down tomorrow. I know I grabbed some SPY puts kind of like as a hedge, and it's just one of those kind of plays that, you don't know which way the market's going to go. It's a pretty risky play, but at the same time, there was so much selling pressure today that the risk reward scenario is pretty significant, because if we see the SPY come back down to 412 or lower tomorrow, then those puts are really going to fly up.
All right, so if there's one thing that everyone can take away from today's video, it would be this. Everyone loves to hype up stocks like NIO when they're flying high at, $67 a share, right? But no one really loves to talk about these growth stocks when they're pulling back, right? So stocks like Enphase, NEO, DraftKings, Palantir, Zoom, a lot of these stocks are pulling back right now. So if you like these stocks for the long term, and back a couple months ago when they were all flying high, you were telling yourself, man, I wished I bought these, when they were low, right? A lot of these stocks are low right now. So if you like some of these stocks, there are a lot of good buying opportunities. So just consider that. If you trade options a lot, it doesn't hurt to start building a long-term portfolio. So definitely consider shopping around for some good deals. But Tom, is there any other major news or anything you want to cover from today?
We do have some earnings coming up that I do want to talk about. And today we did see SKLZ and Activision report, which was a little interesting, but it got really overshadowed by the SPY itself. But General Motors is going to be reporting tomorrow morning, which I think is going to be very interesting for the EV market right now. We have seen Ford moving pretty volatile, or pretty rapidly, I should say, off of their earnings. And we do have GM reporting tomorrow, as well as PayPal, Rocket Mortgage, Etsy, Uber, Twilio, Fastly, Marathon Oil. So there's quite a few big stocks in there. And then also Thursday we still have Moderna, Square, Roku, AMC, Peloton. Those are some pretty big ones. Even Penn Gaming, and then DraftKings later on in the week. So a lot of these stocks are also right around their supports, kind of like DraftKings, AMC, Peloton, Square. A lot of these have been falling lately and are sitting at support. So definitely give them a second look, especially after earnings. I think that obviously we've been seeing a lot of stocks kind of go up on earnings and then come back down. So I wouldn't really make a play going into the earnings on these, but it's still going to be interesting to see how they play out. Plus, it still might affect the overall market if we see some of these continue to fall off.
Alrighty, well, let's get right into our Discord member of the day. And today's member of the day is Zero Silver Hawk. So he is an extremely active member of the community. In the past 2 weeks, he had over 1,000 messages. So 1,036 messages in the past 2 weeks. He's extremely active. So thank you so much for that. And thanks for being a great member of the community. But let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Microsoft to the downside.
Yep, and with Microsoft, go ahead and make it fall below 245.75.
All right, and then we have Zoom also to the downside.
Yep, this one's pretty unfortunate. It closed up above 300 though, which is great, but make it fall below 298.75.
All right, and then we have CVS to the upside.
CVS Pharmacy. Yeah, this one's up, but make it break above 81.35.
All right, so we are eyeing Microsoft and Zoom for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow, only if they break below the levels Tom listed. And then we are eyeing CVS for a potential trade to the upside tomorrow, only if it breaks above the level Tom listed. But let's get right into the $2.5 million options trade for this Friday. We are looking at the NVIDIA 560 strike put options. They expire this Friday, May 7th. There was $2.5 million put into the play. It is bouncing off of a support level right now, right around like 565, you can say. So, Tom, I'm going to say that they are shorting these puts. You might disagree with me here, but NVIDIA is a powerhouse, and I can definitely see some large institution, like shorting these puts, hoping to get some shares. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good support level right there. So I would not be surprised if they were shorting these, or yeah, I mean, if they were shorting them. But at the same time, I mean, there was a lot of selling pressure today, which would make me feel like that they longed them. But I think I'm with you. If they entered, it depends, I think, to me, whenever they entered the position. If they entered it in the middle of the day, then I think that they might be shorting those puts, because I think they might have been trying to get ahead of those premiums. But I think if they entered it like at the very beginning or at the end of the day, then they were longing the puts. I think that it just depends on the timing with this one.
Alrighty, well, let's get right into our comments from the previous episode. And with the first comment, we have Javier, and then we also have Alan asking about Clove. So CLOV, Tom. I know this one has a lot of hype around it, and I actually heard that Wall Street Bets is behind this play. It got beat down over like the past couple months, and their short interest is right around. I'm pulling up their short interest right now. Yeah, their short interest is actually their short float is 36%. So it's a pretty high short float. Plus the combination of Wall Street Bets being behind it, it definitely has potential to pop. I know they're in like the healthcare field, like I believe insurance too. So they have potential, especially from a technical standpoint. They look pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, over the past few months, it looks like they're sitting right on that support at like $8.50. Looks like they hit that early this morning and came right back up. Hopefully, it can hold that and then keep going over the next couple of weeks. It does look pretty decent, and I like the short float there being high. Hopefully it can keep pushing this stock up. And unfortunately though, it has been going down over the past few days, but it has been rocketing over the past like couple months overall. And it had highs around 1745 at the beginning of the year. So I would not be surprised if we saw more positive momentum out of this stock over the next couple of weeks. But it just seems like all these value stocks went down today and then kind of like recovered up at the end of the day. So I think it's pretty 50-50 for tomorrow still, but it does look pretty decent, I will say. And if these guys start getting pushed out of those positions, expect a pretty good pop out of it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but I think that short float is pretty notable. We actually saw a crazy high short float with CHPT, charge point, and the shorts actually covered. I think the short float went from like 76% all the way down to 2%. And now we have CLOV sitting around a short float of what did I say, like 35%, 36%. Let me pull it up. Yeah, 36%, you can say. So those short floats, we all know how GME and AMC and all these other ones went RKT. So just be on the lookout for that. And then with the next question, we have A saying, what do you think about PSFE? So their chart looks okay. Be very careful because they do have earnings coming up. This earnings season has been very interesting to say the least. We've been seeing a lot of stocks actually report amazing earnings and then tank. So just be careful with it. I'm not sure if you're looking at this for like a long-term hold or like a short-term trade, but their all-time high is right around like 1957, and then they have a support right around like $12.
Yeah, and they kind of deal with like e-commerce. So if you're kind of bullish on that sector and the overall like internet stocks and stuff like that, kind of like Twitter and things like that, then I think that this will be a decent one for the longer term. But I think that just keep in mind it's right around support, kind of like all these value stocks are, like Palantir and others. And I would just kind of treat it like those, especially since they have very similar and almost like the same setups, and they're also right on support, right around $13.
All right, and then we have Molina saying thoughts on BNTX. Let's check it out. So it's actually doing very well. It actually tanked today, but in general, it's doing very well. Over the past year, it went from lows of $44.36, slowly but surely up to $213.15. That was actually the high of today. So it's doing very well. I didn't look into this company too much fundamentally. They actually hit highs of $220.11 in after hours yesterday. But overall, their chart looks very, very good. And if you like this company for the long term, this short term dip should be an amazing opportunity to either like sell puts or buy some shares.
Yeah, definitely. And they do have earnings coming out on May 10th, so be a little bit wary of that, but hopefully it keeps going down. I know that this stock has been pretty big, like with vaccines and stuff like that. So really watch out. I've heard of deals between like them with like Pfizer and biotech, and they've been talked about a lot, like in the same article, since they all do vaccines, and it's just been really rocketing this year. And honestly, this has probably been the vaccine stock to get. If you were going to get any vaccine stock, this looks like the one that really popped up off of the vaccines. And man, I wish I would have grabbed this one, honestly. I mean, I didn't really make any too big vaccine plays, but it seems like this one popped up a lot more than like Pfizer or any of the others. And Pfizer's doing pretty well, but just comparative to over the past few years, BNTX has a lot more growth to it.
All right. Well, Tom, what are some of the top stocks you're watching for tomorrow? I know the market's definitely heating up a little bit where, especially, I mean, I think it's crazy to see, when Apple's down 3.5 to 4%, the market's getting crazy. So what are you looking out for?
That was actually going to be the one I was going to talk about was Apple, and it's had a crazy day today. It actually fell below the 100 SMA, and it kind of stayed at its lows. And man, I would not be surprised if we saw it come down tomorrow. It kind of bounced off this support, maybe like 126, 125 intraday today. But just be careful. I have a pretty good support on it at 120, and I would not be surprised if we hit that over the next few days to next couple weeks. It's not that far away, only 7 points from the current price. And honestly, it just hit like 137 just a few days ago. Now we're at 127. So that was a 10-point drop in itself. But we did have earnings. And overall, just if we see the market keep going down, Apple's going to be a good one to play. So is VXX, SPY, UVXY, I think is going to be a good one too. But SPY, I think, is going to be pretty crucial to watch tomorrow. If it can stay good below 416 and then come retest lows today of like 412, I think that'll be amazing for the SPY. But if we see it break above 416 very significantly and even break 418, then we're just going to have to be bullish on it once again. But with that news today, with the rates, I'm just not sure what to think for tomorrow. But it looks like we are coming back down a little bit in after hours. So overall, I'm still a little bit bearish on the market, just given what happened today. But it is definitely going to be a big thing to watch tomorrow with the SPY breaking above 416 to 417.
Yeah, the market's getting really exciting. Like I said, when you see Apple tanking, the market, the market's crazy. So definitely be alert. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Most of you aren't subscribed. Consider subscribing to the channel. We post brand new videos every single day. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And also, Tom and I have been going live every single morning at open on the new Stocked Up live channel. That link is in the description down below. So feel free to subscribe to our new channel. We are live every single day at market open. At market open. So feel free to subscribe to the new channel. Like I said, any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.